Welcome back, everyone. I am the Depressed Eeyore, and this is Arkham Horror, the card game. We're doing Scarlet Keys again with Daniela Rees and Daisy Walker. And we decided to show up to the Congress of Keys on our own. So at the very least, we're not going to get a fourth cultist token. So there's, that. We traveled on our own accord, so we go to Intro 2. This is new text, so I'll go ahead and read it. You would never have found the secret hideout of the Red Coterie without the intel Commissioner Taylor sent you. The compound lies deep underground in the heart of Siberia, not far from the mysterious crater that marks the site of the notorious Tunguska event, a blast or perhaps impact, the true nature of which has been shrouded in mystery for over a decade. Maybe there is a connection between this strange event and the Coterie's presence. No, knowing that the kind of dangerous artifacts the Coterie possesses, there is no doubt in your mind. The question is, which came first? The compound's entrance is masked by heavy snow and remote wilderness, but eventually you find it, an unmarked steel door embedded in the side of a snowy hilltop, almost impossible to see from afar. You are surprised to find the door unlocked, but the moment you enter, you are set upon by Coterie guards with suspicious eyes and familiar red clothing. "We've been expecting you," one of them says with a wicked grin. "Come, the Congress is about to begin." You have little choice but to follow. The guards lead you deeper and deeper into the complex, down steep, narrow stairways of worked stone and through dark, drab corridors until finally you reach a large windowless chamber lit faintly by mercury vapor lamps. Scarlet tapestries line the walls, along with several glass cases and shelves containing old relics and historical artifacts. Dominating the room is an enormous central table, an elaborate pattern of lines and rings carved meticulously along its surface. Standing around this central table are a host of figures, some familiar to you, others unrecognizable. All of them bear red. The door leading into the chamber slams shut behind you, and your heart surges in your throat. Your timing is impeccable, a voice among the gathered coterie states. "We were just about to begin the vote." You inquire as to the nature of this vote, your mouth suddenly dry. You cannot shake the feeling that you have come here merely to look your own doom in the eyes. A meeting has been called to account for your crimes against the coterie, or to be commended, if that is the will of the Congress. We will now entertain any who wish to speak on your behalf or against you. From behind, you are suddenly restrained, and a gag is placed over your mouth. "Just a formality, I promise you," the guard drawls with a grin. All right. So one thing I did do off screen is I did take a look at all of the votes here and kind of made notes of like how they, what sort of triggers would trigger what votes. This is just so I could kind of prepare for maybe a future run. Because one thing I did note is Constantinople, I don't actually need to do if I'm concerned about votes. Constantinople is always it's always a nay vote unless I go out of my way to piss AJ off. Anyway, so we didn't do anything with the Claret Knight, so it's just going to be none of the above are true. I do not take pleasure in violence, says an elderly, well-dressed man in red. I believe these before us might be valuable assets. On the opposite end of the table, a crimson hooded figure rumbles. That is why you are weak. Its countenance shrouded in shadow turns to acknowledge you. In the dim light, all you see is a set of terrible dripping fangs. Blood must flow. So they vote yay and nay. So my yay votes will be damage. My nay votes will be horror. All right. Flip a coin, update the keys section of the campaign log. If it's heads, the Light of Pharaohs will be on the knight. Otherwise, they'll be on the beast. Let's get ourselves a coin then. A quarter. All right. Heads is the Claret Knight. Otherwise, it's the beast. All right, Claret Knight has the Light of Pharaohs. Which is good, because that means it's on the good guy, not the bad guy. All right, got that taken care of. Next, AJ. AJ trusts the cell. We've read this before. It's just a nay vote. Amareth is abstained, so we don't need to worry about her. She left the coterie. and we've read that before. We didn't do anything with Thorn this time. If none of the above are true, the one wearing a red cravat with platinum blonde hair to match their sheet white skin speaks next. I haven't had no dealings with these before us, they say, gesturing towards you. It would be foolish of me to vote one way or another without knowing firsthand of their capabilities and trustworthiness. As such, I will sit this one out. Thorn abstains, and he has the sable glass. Okay. Aliki, not or true. We've read this before. He does vote yay. Obviously, we got the correct Desi. We have the story asset. So it'll be just a nay vote. We've done it before. Same thing for Aberan. Nothing changes here. We didn't meddle as an affair, so it abstains. Red Glove is eerily silent, which we will note with a resource. If the cell knows the true nature of the coterie, we can immediately skip to trial 6. We do not know the true nature of the coterie. Nope. And 3 or more coterie members are not eerily silent. Only one is. You kind of have to either do poorly or go out of your way to make that happen. It feels like. I think it also leads to like the most difficult version of this final scenario. So I believe ours is you haven't seen the last of the Sanguine Watcher. Suddenly, a wide-brimmed hat with a scarlet band slams onto the table, and Law of Chikarosha emerges from the shadows. The Foundation's not our biggest enemy. That title belongs to some of us. These agents might not wear red, but I guarantee they're more righteous than half of us claim to be. Standing on the other side of the table, the Sanguine Watcher takes off his ruby spectacles and cleans them with a blood-red cloth. Behind them, his eye sockets are gruesomely hollow. "Foolish girl," he utters, his words dripping with venom. "A last play for attention." She scowls at him, gripping the crown of her hat so hard it crumbles beneath her fingers. Do any of you have any idea what kinds of things the sick bastardo has been up to? Do any of you even care? So it ends up being a vote for yay and nay. All right, that is it for that. Goes to, unfortunately, Susan Yang. We have nothing for her, so she's just going to vote yay, and she has the Shade Reaper. Hopefully I spelled that correctly. Yang, not Yang. Su Sang Yang? Oh, Sane. Sorry about that. And has the Shade Reaper. As always, she does vote yay, which brings it to a tie. And then, unfortunately, Twile is going to vote yay because we haven't done anything with her, that individual. Yep, I think that's everything. Yeah, and unfortunately, we did get the whistle from Naliki, but other than that, we didn't really do anything else with that person, which is a little unfortunate. Okay, so if it is a tie or if the yays have it, you have been deemed a liability. We go to the trial 2. So this is our first time doing this, so we'll read it. With the voting complete, you are shoved to the floor. You struggle against your bonds, but are unable to free yourself, and vastly outnumbered besides. There is no hope of escape. A cold blade is placed at the edge of your neck. You who seek to harm our noble cause have been accused and charged with numerous crimes against the coterie, a voice states with dreadful gravity. The blade bites against your neck. A trail of blood trickles down your neck. The punishment is death. May the crimson stain of your legacy be washed away. You close your eyes and brace yourself. Just then a crash. Shouting and sounds of battle erupt throughout the room. A storm of clashing steel and gunfire. You are sent reeling as your would-be executioner is attacked by an unseen force. You struggle again to free yourself, but are unable until moments later. When you are dragged out of the chamber, your bonds are cut, and you are brought to your feet by none other than the woman in the vermilion veil herself. AJ ushers you down the hall, whispering over the chaos of the battle. We have to get out of here. Several of the others who wear red follow in your wake, looking over their shoulders the entire time. You ask what is going on as another rumble shudders throughout the halls. The one with the red gloves, she trails off, her hand trembling as she grips your arm. He's not what we thought he was. That man always creeped me out, but to think, how could we have not known? You ask her to start again, slower. He attacked us, she says, meeting your gaze as you duck into a quiet hall filled with scarlet tapestries. The others fought him off, but there was something strange about him. He was not human. It was something else entirely. It stole as many implements as it could and escaped like, she shudders, just like one of the creatures we seek to destroy. Thoughts run unbidden through your mind. If the man with the red gloves, or whatever it truly is after the remaining keys, you have to stop it at any cost. You pull away from AJ and begin marching back. What are you doing? She calls out. The rest of them won't show you any mercy, but your intentions are clear. If you're going after that thing one of the others says to you, then we're coming too. The cell escaped the red coterie. So I've done this version of the final scenario. It's a little bit harder. We go to setup 1. So we do setup 1 here. Like so. All right. We've got the Scarlet Halls, and then we have 3... Yeah, and put 3 coterie locations into play. Okay. We've got Secrets and Lies version 1. Got it. All right. Gather each decoy minicard and each of the following minicards. Got it. Find each coterie enemy from the red coterie encounter set who voted yay, along with the red glove man. So, red glove man. The other coteries. Note that the following characters may vote yay, but do not have enemy encounter cards in this encounter set. So Tuwal, Aberran, and Razin. Well, we don't need to worry about Razin. Tuwal and Aberran do not have cards. Noted. Alright. So, obviously the Beast. Obviously the Seguin Watcher. Su San Yang. Claret Knight voted nay. Aliki did vote yay. So we have Aliki as well. Amaranth is not here. Desi voted for us, or voted nay. Thorn abstained. Claret Knight said nay. La Chica Rocha voted nay. So I believe it's just these 5. Okay. All right. That voted yay. The lead investigator spawns the red glove man in the shadows. Did I mess something up here? Spawns him in the shadows, huh? I'm doing the right one, right? Oh, lead investigator spawns the red glove man in the shadows and resolves his concealed. Oh, granted by Act 1A. That's why. Red glove man has concealed 2. Okay. So we take the red glove man, 2 decoys, and shuffle him. And I believe he just goes to all of the I guess you just distribute them, however. Because we're going to start at the Scarlet Halls, correct? Yeah, we start at Scarlet Halls. Sorry, it's a lot of reading here to kind of make sure I got the right stuff. So we got that. Shuffle the rest of the gather. Oh, also, Red Glove Man, of course, has the Last Blossom. All right. Lead Investigator spawns the... Shuffle the rest of the gathered coterie enemies one at a time in player order. Each investigator other than the lead investigator draws one of them, spawning them as normal. Okay, so other than the lead investigator, so we spawn one more coterie enemy. And we spawn Aliki, Zoni, Upperechia. Okay, I don't remember if we've ran into her or not. She's Humanoid Coterie Elite, 2 fight, 2 evade, 3 health, speaks in death. She's aloof, victory 0, hits for 1 and 1. At the end of the enemy phase, each investigator looks at the top card of their deck. Set each non-weakness card looked at in this way aside out of play as a hollow. If there is already a copy of that card set aside as a hollow, Aliki, Zoni, what's her name, shifts each of her attached keys. Alright, and I don't believe Aliki actually has anything. She has no keys. How would she even... I guess technically you could piss her off, and then she can eventually steal a key. There's definitely some wacky things, combinations you can make happen if with the open world. All right, shuffle the rest of the gathered coterie enemies into the encounter deck. Yeah, the encounter deck's going to be dangerous. All right, those are done. For each member who voted nay, find their conspiracy story card asset version and put them to play under any investigator's control. All right, so we have La Chica Rocha, we have Desi, no Aliki, no Thorn, we got AJ, and we do technically have Claret Knight. So we have all of them, and we can go into the Globetrotting. Or is it in here? All the keys. So key things to note. So things to note: Light of Pharos will be with the Claret Knight. AJ has the Twisted Antiprism, and Desi and La Chica Rocha don't have anything. For those who don't remember how Light of Pharos works, you can play a card from your hand at -3 cost, which is really good because the shift is essentially a lightning bolt action, or lightning bolt. All right, for nay, find their story asset and put them in the under any investigator's control. Okay. Play any card. We'll give Claret Knight to Daisy. Oh my god, this is going to get crowded. Alright. I will happily take AJ as well. I don't think I have enough keys. We can do this, I guess. I have barely enough room for everything. Desi and La Chica Rocha could be over here. And we should be good to go on that. All right. Set the 3 otherworld locations from the Conquerors of Keys set in autoplay. Shuffle the remaining counter cards. Got it. Second encounter deck. I assume it's done for me. Setting up the City of Remnants. That's fine. Okay. I think we're good to go. Let's go ahead and read up on what we have. I think this is, I believe, Conflux of Consequences 3 Doom. When this agenda advances, if it's Acts 2, 3, or 4, skip the B side of this agenda and proceed directly to Agenda 2A. Okay, got it. So if we stay ahead of this, we won't get wrecked. And then here, Secrets of Lies version 1, you have to find the man with the red gloves and discover what his plan is, but the remainder of the red coterie stands in your way. Don't they realize the true threat here? Red Glove Man can't be damaged, and he's concealed. At the end of the round, if each investigator is at the same location as the Red Glove Man, they may spend the requisite number of clues as a group to advance. So we need 4 clues. Here are our things here. This stuff could be set aside. All right. Skull is minus X, where X is the current act number, so -1. Cultist is -5. You may flip a stable key to its unstable side to treat it as a -2 instead. And then tablets are -2. If this attack is against a ready outsider enemy, you automatically fail instead. Thankfully, the stuff we're fighting right now is not outsiders, but that's going to quickly change. All right. We've done these locations before, so I'm not going to reread them. Forced, after you enter Scarlet Halls for the remainder of your turn, as an additional cost for you to move from the Scarlet Halls to a connecting location, you must either exhaust a conspirator asset you control or spend an additional action. We have plenty of conspirators, so that's not really a big issue. Does the force effect trigger? It doesn't say yay or nay, so I'll assume yay. All right, let's go ahead and put a break here and BRB. As always, if I do need to restart, I will, of course, reshuffle everything as necessary. But for right now, let's go ahead and get started. We'll shuffle, 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 and draw. That's a weakness. Oh, thank God, a backpack. Feels like we haven't had one of those in forever. All right, so we can do Steadfast and draw another card. Okay, that is... where's this been for the past 2 scenarios? All right, great start. Daisy does have 2 copies of Studious, so we'll go ahead and shuffle and draw 7 cards. I think I do need to turn this off. Yes, I do. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's a weakness. Okay, so that's what we got so far. Pathfinder, Mr. Rook. All these are practice cards. So we can go ahead and draw 4 more cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. We have things. Okie dokie. We do have things that should help us. All right, shuffle again. Shuffle this again. Okay, let's start with Daniela. Unfortunately, Daniela is going to end up getting hit by this Aliki effect. There's not much we can do about it. All right, so let's go ahead and open things off with spending 1 to get out Schaffner's catalog. We'll go ahead and get backpack out for free, top 12. Backpack, Schaffner's. I definitely want one of these mementos for the future, but I think I want a Wolf Mask more. Actually, I mean, all of it's kind of good. Let's go Precious Memento. Okay. And then from this, I'll go ahead and spend 1 secret to get out the other Schaffner's catalog. All right. Then I'll spend 2 secrets to get out the Precious Memento. This is from Future Life. Then I will get rid of this backpack to play this other backpack for free. Search top 12. Wolf Mask, Bandolier. You can do Talisman too. I think I'm okay with that. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. All right. We'll go ahead and play the Wolf Mask for free. Play the Talisman for 1. Play the Bandolier for 1. Play the Chair's Keepsake for free. Spend a secret to play the Survival Knife. Why didn't this play? There we go. And then spend 2 secrets to get out a Crowbar. Oh wait, I have an out. Okay, I do have an out. I can put myself in the shadows. Okay, cool. All of her actions are gone, and I'll use La Chica Rocha to send Daniela into the shadows. All right. We got that going for us. Okay. By the way, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 11 assets, and we saved 10 resources. Definitely the play of the day. So unfortunately, I can't take advantage of the Schaffners. I could play the Grim Memoir, but that's not really what we want right now. All right, so how do we want to do this? Is there any items I could play? All right, what we're going to go ahead and do is I am going to go ahead and activate the Light of Pharos so I can play something. I'm going to go ahead and play the Pathfinder. Because it's any item, it's literally any card. Yeah, play any card. All right, I will then spend 3 to get out Mr. Rook. I'm then going to go ahead and search top 9 with Mr. Rook. We do hit our Paradimensional Understanding. Immediately shift an unstable key you control, or each stable key you control, flip each stable key you control to its unstable side. Alright, the last boss is not a big deal. I'm going to get punched, though. Okay, I'm fine with that. Flip each stable key you control to its unstable side, or shift an unstable key you control. I'm a little confused on the, I mean, I guess it technically... Each investigator must discard 2 random non-weakness cards from their hand, then if an investigator shifted it. Okay. So I can immediately shift this card? But I think I can't do that because I just shifted it. So yeah, my only option is actually to automatically shift all my stable keys to unstable. Which kind of sucks. But I at least got it off of me for now. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna grab a Grim Memoir. Okay. At this point, yeah, it sucks I had to shift it. And I can't really do much else with it. Okay. Well, in any case, let's go ahead and get out Grim Memoir. And I'm going to go ahead and Pathfind move. I'm going to go ahead and exhaust Claret Knight. So I don't have to pay the extra movement cost. And actually, I mean, I guess I could investigate here, but I need clues. So let's go to the place that doesn't have clues yet. Or doesn't have a hidden card. After you fail a skill test while investigating this, the nearest code ray enemy with an attached key shifts each of their attached keys. Okay. Alright, so I move here. I'm going to go ahead and do tome action. We'll go 7 to 4 here. I don't remember if I shuffled, so I'll shuffle now. I do pass. So I pass by 3, and I do draw a card for each tome I control, which I control 1. So I will draw 2 cards and get 1 clue. Then I'm going to go ahead and use Grim Memoir again. I succeed. I get 1 clue and draw a card. Next, I'm going to go ahead and, for my last action, I'm just going to gain a resource. And then I'm going to go ahead and let Grim Memoir go to the bottom of my deck. Oh, actually, it doesn't matter for this ability. It's just at the end of the enemy phase, she just does stuff. Okay, I messed that up. Enemy phase, she's just going to make us do this. Bye-bye, Whispers of Doom. Alright, upkeep phase. Okie dokie. I'm for now going to go ahead and just drop the Promise of Power. Alright, first Doom. I've already shuffled this. You draw stuff. In your threat area, you cannot perform the same action twice in a row. At the end of your turn, you can test willpower to get rid of it. Okay. And then over here, we have Compulsion, our favorite. Alright, investigation phase. Alright, let's go have Daniela teleport back here. First action, we'll go ahead and do Crowbar. We'll go 5 to 2. Sorry, we're going to go 7. Oh, no, yeah, we'll go 5 to 2 because I can't take the same action. Though I think activates are treated as something different. But I think you get to choose what type it is. So with that in mind, I'll just treat this Crowbar as an activate action. So it'll be 7 to 2. We succeed. We found the Red Glove Man, so these hidden cards go away. So that's the good news. We found him. I'm going to go ahead and engage Aliki and then get punched for 1 and 1, which I'll just take both on the Precious Memento. And then I will stab Aliki with a survival knife. We'll go 6 to 2. Okay. We succeeded by 5. If you succeed a test by 2 or more, you can exhaust it to heal a damage off this, so I will. And we do 1 damage to her. Okay. That is it for Daniela. I'm not going to use the La Chica ability. Alright. Next, I'm going to go ahead and have Daisy go. I have to do this first. I have to do the compulsion first, so double action, get rid of it. Then I'm going to go ahead and Pathfind move down to here. And then I'm going to move up to here. For each unstable key in play, right now there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't do anything with this. Alright, well I should have just spent time doing other things then, but it is what it is. Alright, well, I think I'll just take the L for that one. Enemy phase, we'll start with a Leaky. A Leaky's going to hit me for 1 and 1, which I will tank on this. And then I'm going to go ahead and use Survival Knife and go 7 to 2. And Killer. Red Glove Man's going to hit me for 1 and 1. I'll take 1 damage on the Memento, and I will take 1 Horror on the Keepsake. Oh, I forgot to do this test. 4 to 3. I passed. Bye-bye you. Alright. Upkeep. Alright. Was it at the end of the round? Oh boy. I need to discard something. It'll have to be the String of Curses for now. Mythos. Second Doom. Attach the Splinter Space to your location and test Agility 3. If you fail, take 1 damage for each Hex Treachery attached to your location. After this test ends, if there are 3 copies in play, discard them. Okay. I'll go 2 to 3. I fail. And it's what? 1 Horror? 1 damage. I will take the damage on Desi. Alright, over here. Locked door, which we'll happily put there. Investigation phase. Whew. Alright. Daisy, I need you to, do things. So we'll go ahead and get out Grim Memoir. We'll Pathfind move down to here. Oh yeah, I should have exhausted somebody, by the way, which is fine. I have people I can exhaust. I'll move, exhaust you, to move here. While there's a ready coterie enemy at this location, increase the cost of each asset played by each investigator at this place by 2. Okay. 3 Shroud, 2 Clues. I'm going to go ahead and use Grim Memoir. I'm going to spin 1 to go Practice Makes Perfect. Search top 9. I'll pick Deduction. This will put us at 7, 9, 2, 3. We succeed by a lot. So we get 2 clues. This will go in my hand. I get to draw a card. I don't remember if I shuffled. 1 second. I did not. So yeah, I'll go ahead and shuffle now and then draw. Okay, Daisy's tote bag. Then I'm going to go ahead and move back to here. I'm then going to go ahead and spend 3 to get out a Breathless Sleeper. And I will go ahead and spend 1 to get out Spectral Shield. And get that up and running. Alright, and then I'm going to go ahead and let Grim Memoir pass to here. Okay. Alright, Red Glove Man. So we have the clues, but we can't do it till the end. And this guy can't be damaged. The more you know. Unfortunately, I can't really do anything with Daniela. Besides just... Well, actually, there's a few things. There's one thing I can do. I'll try to evade 2 to 5. I fail by 4. I'll go ahead and exhaust this to heal a horror on it. And, yeah, that's going to be it for now. So, yeah, enemy phase, I'm going to get punched for 1 and 1. I'll take the horror on the Precious Memento. And, I'll go ahead and take a damage on La Chica Roja. And then I can auto-evade him if I care to, but it doesn't really matter at this point. Alright, upkeep. Digitophobia. Perception. Also, out of curiosity. Oh, the Paradigital Understanding, by the way, does absolutely nothing to Daniela, because she doesn't have any keys. The more you know. Alright, Mythos, we will go ahead and spend the 4 clues to advance. Another World version 1. Finally, you spot the man with the red gloves just before he ducks into a shimmering extra-dimensional portal. There is no time to lose. It's now or never. You follow swiftly as the portal closes. Remove each location from the game, which does remove this space and this locked door. Put the knotted tower and gravity-defying climb and the towering vertex locations into play in a straight vertical line. Towering vertex on top. Take the top 3 locations in the Otherworld deck and place them into the shadows. Okay. Take the City Remnant cards. And shuffle them face down and range them around the knotted tower as follow. 1 to its left, 1 to its right, and 1 below. Place each investigator at the knotted tower. Put the Red Glove Man at the Towering Vertex and remove the encounter deck and encounter discard pile from the game and replacing it with the other encounter deck. Which also means we don't have to worry about the rest of the coterie. Okay. You go up here. And unfortunately, he still has the Last Blossom key, which makes him a pain. So that is definitely one benefit of just, well, there's a couple ways you can make this easier. One of them is do what we did last time we played through this and actually go and get the artifact or get the key back from the Red Glove Man. The other way is to have already other enemies to deal with and have one of them randomly, potentially have one of them steal a key instead of the Red Glove Man. But we get none of that this time. All right. To the tower, beyond all of known reality, in the dimension known only to the Forgotten and the Forsaken, lies the preposterous city of remnants and the home world of the outsiders themselves. Looming before you, a terrifying twisted tower of jumbled architecture is a nexus of roiling mist and clouds across an alien sky. Locations and concealed minicards cannot be placed adjacent to tower locations. Find a way into the tower where the infiltrator lies in wait. If an investigator enters the gravity-defying climb, advance. Gravity-defying climb. We need 8 clues to get up here. All right. And if you happen to have any clues carrying over to this, it would actually help. All right. So this is the end of the round, so it's going to go straight into advancing here. Oh, sorry. If it is Act 2, 3, or 4, you skip the B side and just go straight to 2A. So we're now in 2A. The World Unvetted 10, doomed to advance. All right. I'll shuffle this, and we'll go ahead and draw our bad cards. I'm not going to worry about... yeah, I'm not going to worry about the La Chica Roja. I actually don't know what would happen with La Chica Roja if you went into the shadows before going through the portal. I'll assume you I think you actually have to both be there, don't you? Yeah, you have to have everyone at the same location. So good thing I didn't go to the shadows. All right, let's go ahead and get our encounter card. Ancient Evils, right off the bat. 1 doom. Well, at least that's out of the way. Over here, we get the otherworldly mimic. Okay. Investigation phase. This guy hits for 2 horror. Alright, don't need to worry about triggering this thing. Okay, so I believe the works how this... Oh, we need to flip this over. Reaction after a location is placed adjacent to the node tower, you can move to it. Alright, so yeah, the idea here is you have to do a check here based off this location. And kind of go from there. Alright. So let's start with Daniela. I think first thing we're going to go ahead and do is just get this atychophobia taken care of. And I'm kind of okay with ignoring this mimic for a little while. So let's go ahead and just do a crowbar. And see if we can smack a concealed card. We'll start with the left one. We'll go 7 to 3. We succeed by 5. If we succeed by 2 or more, we can exhaust this to remove a damage. And flip this over. We get City of Remnants right. So it's going to be the right one. When you expose this location, if it is the middle position in the shadows, choose a non-weakness card in your hand and set it aside out of play as a hollow. If it is the right position in the shadows, set an asset you control out of play as a hollow. I'll pick the Talisman of Protection. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. And then we get this place. Oh wait, doesn't it have to do Concealed 1? How does this work? Hold on a second. I'm trying to remember this. Okay, it doesn't say to resolve the concealed word when we place them initially, so we didn't need to worry about that at this point. Now we do. Alright, so this is Concealed 1. So we're going to get a decoy and one of these and shuffle them together and do something like this. Okay, since I did get a location placed, I can move to it, so I will. Increase the difficulty to fight or evade each concealed minicard at rambling route by 2. Action spend X resources. Choose a concealed minicard adjacent to a location X connections away. Look at its revealed side without exposing it. Group limit once per game. The more you know. Alright, that should be it. I am going to go ahead and shuffle this one more time just to make sure I did it correctly. Alright. Also, we take the top card and add it into this. I do have the rules for this up here. Place the top card of the Otherworld deck in the shadows in position where it is, then resolve its concealed keyword placing. Yeah. There must always be 3 City of Remnants locations in the shadows if possible. Alright, got that. Alright, let's go with Daisy. Daisy will... I'm going to go ahead and have AJ put a card face down. Oh, it's a weakness. Never mind. It stays on top. At least I know it's coming. All right. How will I do this? I can go 5 to 3 here. Alright, let's just do Mr. Rook. Search top 9. Obviously, we're going to trigger the back injury, which I will go ahead and do now. I'm going to go ahead and grab a Antikythera. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and investigate this location. I'll commit a perception, go 8 to 3. All right, that puts us at 6 to 3, so we pass by 3, so we draw 2 cards. I'm going to go ahead and reveal this location, which is going to be the middle one. Set aside an asset you control out of play as a hollow. Fortunately, I have not many assets left. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the Pathfinder. As much as it provides action compression, we're not going to need it as much as we would like. Oh wait, this is not the right position. Sorry, it's the middle position. Choose a non-weakness card in your hand and set it aside. I will set aside a Daisy Stopeback. Alright, I will use the reaction ability to move over to here. But before we do that, we need to add another otherworldly card and a decoy. So yeah, that was middle position. And over here we did the right position. Yep, that's correct. After you reveal, wheel to effigies, look at the top card of your deck. If it's not a weakness, set it aside as a hollow. Okay. If there are no clues on this, either swap the positions of 2 concealed mini cards adjacent to this location or swap the positions of 2 locations in the shadows. Group limit once per game. Okay. I will go ahead and I have 8 cards in my hand. Let's go ahead and investigate. We'll go 7. I don't know. 5 to 4 is rough. I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is just see if, well, if I can't really, one of these is not going to lead anywhere. I could go back to Knotted Tower. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to Pathfinder here and investigate again. I'll commit a Promise of Power and go 9 to 3 with 1 curse token added. We pass by a bunch. Reveal this. This is the City of Remnants L, so that's going to be the left one. It's not going to trigger anything bad, which is nice. And we get another concealed card. Okay, one's going to be put here, and I will put the other one over here, and these will get shuffled. Okay, I will trigger this. There's no limit, so I will move down here. Increase the difficulty to fight or evade here. Okay, so same thing as the other one, the rambling route. Okay. For my last action, I'm going to go ahead and just investigate using deduction. We'll go 7 to 2. We succeed, we get both clues. We'll just put this up here for now. I have no room. All right. Enemy phase. This guy's going to come and say hi. I'll have it go after Daniela. It's aloof, so we're fine for now. Upkeep. This literally does nothing. I can't shift to... I don't have any keys under her control. Alright. Mythos. Second Doom. Alright. When it engages you, look at the top card of your deck. If it is not a weakness, set it aside. Bye-bye Steadfast. Alright. Same thing. Bye-bye ward of protection. Okay, that's a problem. Because now I have to deal with you somehow. Alright, investigation phase. I will start with Daniela. I have no choice but to punch you, so that's what I'll do. We'll go 6 to 3 with a survival knife. If this is an attack against a ready outsider enemy, you automatically fail instead. This is an outsider, so I do fail. I do fail by 3, because it sets it to 0 at that point. So if I fail, I can exhaust this to heal a horror. Okay, I'll stab it again. Do 1 damage. Stab it 1 more time. Auto fail. Okay. Meanwhile, over here, I'm going to use Mr. Rook. Search top 9. Didn't get our weakness. I'll take the survey of the area. I'll attempt to evade. We'll go 7 to 3. We fail. That's a problem. Alright, I will attempt to attack with Breath of the Sleeper. I'm going to spend 3 charges. And I'm going to commit an Occult Theory. So we'll reveal 4 tokens. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, well, I hit. I can use the Elder Sign, which doesn't matter, so it does 1 damage. Alright. I will go ahead and fight one more time using Breath of the Sleeper. Sorry, I didn't mean to do all of them. Because at this point, I kind of just need to kill this guy. Alright, this puts us at 3 to 3. I'm going to go 4 to 3 with Mr. Rook. I'll pick the 0 and cancel the rest and do a damage and kill it. Alright, that is a whole lot of nothing that we just did. I do have a Pathfinder, but at this point I just need to stay here. Enemy phase, I'm going to get punched for 1 and 1. I'm just going to take them here and then use my ability to kill this thing off. Alright, upkeep. Bruiser would be nice. Grim Memoir is nice too. Third Doom. Attached to an outside enemy, which will be this guy. Noted. Alright, over here. For each set aside hollow you own, I will go ahead and just spend a resource and take a horror, which will get soaked to stop that, because I don't want to deal with it. Alright, investigation phase. Okay, things are not going great. I'm going to go ahead and start with Daisy. I'm going to use Library Pass to get out Grim Memoir. I'm then going to go ahead and investigate this location 5 to 2. That is a success. That is a decoy. Alright, I will investigate again. This time I'll use Grim Memoir. Actually, I'll do Tome Action. Use Grim Memoir. 7 to 2. That's a success. I get to draw a card. There's my Necronomicon. All right, I'm going to go ahead and reveal this location is a decoy. Okay, so there's a location over here. Probably should have just checked these first, but either way, it takes an action to do it anyway. So I'll go ahead and investigate again. Grim Memoir, 7 to whatever. I succeed, draw a card. I got the right side. If this is the left position, lose 2 resources. Okay. All right, just real quick. Sorry about zooming around like this. Okay, just adjacent. Got it. So this will be set aside and get a decoy, get another card. Okay. Next, I'll Pathfind move over to here. Oh, wait, I think I did this wrong. Yeah, I think I did it wrong. 1 second. I think I was basing a is it middle position? Right position. This was a right position. Asset controlled gets set aside. Alright, give me a moment. Okay, my apologies. So it's based off position in the shadows, not position on the board. So this, I didn't actually lose any resources. So I put it back to 2. And then this one I did mess up. I was actually supposed to take a damage, which would have been soaked by the spectral shield. So that one was done correctly. The other ones I did check the footage. They were done correctly. We were supposed to lose an asset as a hollow, and then this one was losing a card as a hollow in your hand. All right, another rambling route. Crazy. All right. So we Pathfind moved over here. That's fine. I'm going to go ahead and do a final Grim Memoir. I'm going to commit a deduction. I succeed by a lot, so we get both clues and a card. All right. At this point, all we need to do is just get the clues from these other locations, and we'll be good to go. I'm going to go ahead and let the Grim Memoir here go on the bottom of the deck. And then we'll never have to deal with this headache again. All right. Daniela. I can't really do much while you're in my face, so... Oh, one thing I could have done, I should have canceled 1 damage. I could have put a damage, since the thing that hit us earlier was a monster. I could put a damage on Desi here and exhaust him to soak it. And it'll cancel the damage on him and do a damage to the attacking enemy. So the more you know. So I'll just take back that damage. Anyway, so many things. All right, let's go ahead and whack this thing. We are currently 7 to 3. Doesn't have retaliate or anything. Oh, it does have retaliate. I'll do Wolf Mask to go 9 to 3. I get retaliated for 2 horror. I'll take both on the chair's keepsake. And since it's a retaliate, I can go ahead and do survival knife and also do a damage back to this guy. And go 7 to 3. I'll do Wolf Mask again, 9 to 3. I succeed, he dies. Sorry, it was 9 to 4 because he has +1. But either way, I do 2 damage back, killing this guy. And then after it's been successfully evaded, you can draw one of the set-aside hollows. I'm going to go ahead and pick the... At this point, I will pick the Steadfast. Actually, I'll take the Talisman of Protection. Why not? So you're dead, you're gone. And I'll go ahead and spend 2 to fast out a Talisman of Protection. I'll go ahead and spend 3 to get out Bruiser. And then I think for my last action, I'm going to go ahead and swap out this Chair's Keepsake for a fresh one. And then that'll be it. Upkeep. Alright, out of Crossroads. Let's just get our 3 cards. And lose an action. Alright, so good news is we found our fire extinguisher. And then upkeep here, Spectral Shield. Alright, Mythos, 4th Doom. Alright, don't have any copy. Oh, no, I do have a copy. Discard, so if there's 1 or more copies of that hollow in your play area. Oh, no, yeah, I do. Discard those copies and take 1 damage, 1 horror. If no cards are discarded, you lose stuff. Okay, so this gets discarded. I'll take 1 damage, 1 horror. I'll take the damage here and put the horror on the Chair's Keepsake. For each point you fail by, choose a non-weakness. Okay, so this is the one where you have to set stuff aside. I don't have anything I can do to help this. Or do I? There's one thing I can do. I'll spend 1 to do a Practice Makes Perfect. Search the deck, pick Occult Theory, and play it. It'll be 8 to 3. It's an auto-fail. I fail by 3, so I have to choose a non-weakness card in your hand and set it aside out of play. Okay, I'll pick String of Curses. Spectral Shield. And a Perception. God, that's so annoying. Alright. Investigation. Let's go ahead and start with Daisy. She's going to Pathfind up. And then I'm going to go ahead and spin an action and spend 2 secrets here. Actually, I'll spend all of them on that one to play an Antikythera. At this point, I'm just going to set these over here, because I'm never going to be able to play most of them. At least not without blowing myself up. All right. Then I'm going to go ahead and gain a resource, and then spend 3 to get out the other Breath of the Sleeper. And then I'll use my Tome action to move a horror to myself from the Necronomicon. Daniela is going to go ahead and take an action to do Crowbar. We'll go 5 to 2. I will spend both charges of Bruiser to go 7 to 2. Yeah, that's fine. 7 to 2. We pass, we'll get 1 clue. And then I will spend 2 to go ahead and play my Fire Extinguisher. Oh, sorry, I needed to check the value there. 1 second. Yeah, it was a skull, so we passed by 3 or more. So I can exhaust this to remove a damage. Okay. God, this is going slow. Alright, enemy upkeep. Okay, got our other precious memento. Whispers of Doom, Mythos, Fifth Doom, Frozen in Fear, and this asshole. Each investigator must choose a non-weakness card they control in their hand or play area and set it aside. You're killing me. I'm going to pick this Breath of the Sleeper. And you can pick this Bandolier, I guess. Alright, investigation phase. Alright, for Daniela, I'm going to go ahead and spend my last secret and 2 resources to swap out the keepsake for the other precious memento. I'm going to go ahead and investigate this location. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and investigate this location with Crowbar. I'll use the charges from Bruiser. 7 to 2. That is 8 to 2, so I pass by a bunch. And heal the damage from this. Get the clue. Oh, actually, I should have engaged. I'm an idiot. Wait, what did I do? I played... Oh, okay. So I had 3 actions. I played the Precious Memento, I investigated, and I can engage. So I'll engage to this, get an offering, and get ready for the future. Alright. Daisy. I'm going to go ahead and move a horror over with the tome action. I'm going to pathfind move and regular move all the way over to here. And I'm going to investigate. Actually, I will draw a card. And I'm going to draw a card. Enemy phase, I'm going to get hit for 1 and 2. I'll take the damage on Desi and have him negate it and do a damage back. And then I'll take 2 horror here. And then I will do a damage back. And I'm going to go ahead and use Survival Knife and go 7 to 4. Actually, no, sorry. I will go... I can do it in order. I'm going to do Survival Knife first. Oh, sorry, I need to do this first. Frozen in Fear, I'll go 4 to 3. I pass, it goes away. Then I'll do Survival Knife, 7 to 4. I succeed, do 2 damage. And then I'm going to go ahead and evade it automatically. No, it doesn't matter. It's just going to re-engage. So yeah, I'll just do a damage. Boop. Okay, that is it on that. Let's go ahead and go to Upkeep. Mythos. 6 down. 4 to 3. I will go... Yeah, I'll just go for... yeah, I'll go 4 to 3. I pass. I passed by 2. Oh, actually... I passed by 2. Let me check what I passed this on, because I can actually heal stuff. 1 second. Okay, so I passed by 3 on when I counterattacked here, so I could exhaust and remove the horror. And then since I got a +1, I passed by 2 again. So I'll go ahead and heal a horror off of this again. Sorry about that. Over here. Aloof Hunter. Okay, you're aloof. Alright, investigation phase. Alright, I'm going to start with Daisy and hope I don't get screwed over too badly. We'll go ahead and do Library Pass. I'm going to do Tome Action. 7 to 4. We passed by 1. Yeah, that was 5 to 4, so I'll go ahead and do Antikythera to get both clues here. Then I'll Pathfind move to here. I don't get to draw a card, by the way. Then I'm going to go ahead and draw a card. Draw a card, which is going to get soaked. And then last action, I'm going to go ahead and move a horror over and get rid of this. And then this will go on the bottom of the deck. Okay. Goes to Daniela. Daniela is going to attack. I'll use Crowbar. Go 7 to 4, 8 to 4, 9 to 4 with Bruiser. I pass just barely. So now you die. I could discard it and choose up to 3 set-aside hollows and add them to their owner's hands. I will do that. So it's going to get discarded instead of put in the victory display. And add them to their... So 3 set-aside hollows. I'm going to pick... Ward of Protection. Breath of the Sleeper, and a Spectral Shield. Okay, and then I'm going to move over, and then I'm going to spend all of our clues to finally go up to here and reveal it. Enter the tower. 7 forgotten locks grant entry to the tower, each one a piece of history from a realm long since erased from time. You forget they exist the moment the gates open. On the other side, steps course their way up the spire's baffling length. Winding, perplexing, and seemingly infinite, the ascent to the apex of the tower that binds this world together is paradoxical, a Gordian knot twisted far too many times. Even if you make it to the top, you doubt you will ever find a way back. Set each concealed mini card aside out of play. Oh, mini card, sorry. Remove each city of remnants in the shadows and the remainder of the Otherworld deck from the game. Take 3 of the city or remnant concealed cards and 2 decoys. Shuffle them face down and arrange them around gravity, defying climb in a random order. The ascent, a terrible feeling of vertigo, washes over you as you begin to scale the Cyclopean Escurian steps. Only one way to go now. Ascend. If an investigator enters the towering vertex, advance. So this is the one where you have to expose cards, and if they're wrong, you have to... if it's the correct one, it remains in play exposed, and you may expose another concealed mini card. If it's any other mini card, you flip it, and each other... concealed mini card face down, but without shuffling them. All right, that is it. Goes to enemy phase. This guy's going to move on over. I didn't end my turn in his location, so we're fine. Upkeep. Upkeep. Mythos. 7th Doom. Next to the agenda deck. And we got Dissonant Voices. Okay. Oh, I need to discard a card. At this point, let's discard honestly the old book of lore. All right. Investigation phase. I'm going to go ahead and start with Daniela. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get rid of that memory variant. We'll go 7 to 4. That is a pass. We get rid of it. All right. Next, I'm going to go ahead and try to break something here. We'll go 5 to 4. Oh, actually, I could do an attack. Sorry. So it'll be 7 to 4, 8 to 4, 9 to 4 with Bruiser. I pass. I will go ahead and reveal 1. What order does this have to be in? Oh, it's over here. It has to be left, middle, right. This is right, so it's not the correct one. So we know this one is the right one. Okay, next I'll attack again. This time we'll just go 6. I didn't fail the test, so I don't need to worry about it. I'll go 6 to 4. That's 7 to 4, so I do pass. Okay, that's a decoy. All right, that's it on that front. Daisy. Daisy's going to Pathfind move up to here. She's then going to go ahead and do library. Do I want to do library pass at this point? Yeah, you know what? Let's do library pass. Grim Memoir. It says attach. I'm not playing it, so it is fine. So tome action. 7 to 4. That is 5 to 4, so I pass by 1. So I can go ahead and use I can use Antikythera, but I'll do that in a second. That's a decoy. Then I'll use Antikythera. That's middle. Okay. I only passed by 1, so good on that front. I'll go ahead and investigate again. 7 to 4. I pass by 2, so I do get to draw a card. I may draw a card. I think I am just going to not draw the card. So now I can do this. Left. If it's the correct sequence, it remains in play exposed. You may expose another concealed mini card. Medium. And then right. All right. In order for the investigators to enter, the gravity-defying climb must be exposed in the following sequence. Okay. Okay, so with that, I should be able to enter because I have everything opened in order. And then I can choose to do another one, but I'm not going to. All right, and then I'm going to I've already Pathfind move. I'm going to do a regular move up to here. So this will get flipped over. We now go to here. Windows and doors. With Herculean effort, you practically crawl from the final step to the tower's pinnacle. Twisting clouds of crimson and violet clash in a multi-dimensional sky, infinite gateways to infinite worlds, all of them oblivious, all of them blind, all of them theirs for the taking. You look out upon the worlds of the outsiders with both awe and pity, upon the countless worlds worth of ruin they have collected, discarded, forsaken, lost to all time. It is a garbage heap of cosmic proportions. At the very center lies your foe, who has orchestrated humanity's erasure. Its body only scarcely resembles that of the Red Glove Man now. With no human face to wear, its gaze is empty, its expression unknowable. Set each concealed mini card out of play. And then swap the... Okay, we swap these enemies. We now have the mimetic nemesis. I don't think the key matters anymore. And then take its mini card, which is going to be this one, and 4 decoys. And strewn them out there. Alright, set each mini card out of play. Swap the Red Glove Man for the Mimetic Nemesis. Take the Mimetic Nemesis mini card, 4 decoys, shuffle them face down, and arrange them around the Towering Vertex in a random order. Okay. Towering Vertex. If you reveal the Nemesis mini card, deal 3 damage, then flip all of them face down and shuffle them. Then shuffle them face down. If it's a decoy, it remains in play exposed. The more you know. Okay, you brandish the final error. You brandish the keys you have collected and brace yourself. If you cannot, this entity and this, it will be and none will ever be the wiser. This is your action. Flip a stable key control to unstable. Remove an exposed decoy from the game. If Mimetic Nemesis is defeated, advance. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to go ahead and do things. The nearest investigator must place 1 doom. Yeah. So I can't do anything with that. Alright, so I'm going to shift the Mirroring Blade to its stable side. I'll soak the damage, and then Daniela is going to take 1 damage. It's direct. Then I'm going to shift this. Each investigator has to discard 2 random cards, so I pick these 2. And then she's going to discard 2 here. Okay. Flip this over. This thing can't make attacks opportunity, but it can hit you really, really hard. Then I'm going to go ahead and so let's go. Oh, I haven't even read his stats. Mimetic Nemesis, Infiltrator of Realities, Ancient One, Outsider Elite, 5 fight, 5 evade, 3 health. But he gets +6, so he has 9 health. When he would take 1 or more damage from an attack or player card, choose and reveal a concealed mini card. If it is a decoy, cancel all damage just dealt. Otherwise, the damage is dealt as normal. Then flip all revealed mini cards face down and shuffle them. Hits for 3 and 3. For my last action, I'm going to go ahead and just move back, because there's no point in me staying here unless I want to reveal a card. Alright, I will go ahead and spend 1 to keep the Grim Memoir out. Alright, enemy phase, this guy's going to move up. Upkeep. This will finally get discarded. Alright, Mythos. 8th Doom. Ancient Evils. 9th Doom. This thing again. 3 to 3. Might as well do Occult Theory. I succeed exactly by 0. Yeah, because I get +5 for this. I'm not going to flip any of my stable keys. Okay, investigation. Oh boy, alright. So if we can get some decoys, we might have something to work with here. The sooner we do that, the better off we'll be. Let's go ahead and move up with Daniela. Then I'm going to attack. I'm going to try to reveal a hidden card with Crowbar. So that's 7 to 6, 8, 9. Let's see. I can go 7 to 6, 9 to 6, 10 to 6, 11 to 6. We pass by a lot. I'm going to go ahead and reveal this one. All right, it's a decoy, and I can keep it in play and exposed. Okay, next I'm going to go ahead and use the survival knife. Actually, I can use fire extinguisher too. I'll go 6 to 6. I fail by 2. So I go 4 to 6. So I fail by 2, so I can use this to heal a horror. And then I'll just stay there. Okay. Next, I'm going to go with Daisy. I'm going to Pathfind move up. And then what is an action to do this? I'm going to use an action to flip my Light of Pharos and get rid of this decoy. Then I'm going to go ahead and try to do a tome action and go 7 to 6. I fail by a lot. I am going to go ahead and spend 1 to get out a Spectral Shield on Daniela. I'm going to go ahead and investigate one more time with Grim Memoir. 7 to 6. We got it exactly. We got the Mimetic Nemesis. We do 3 damage to him. All right, and then last action. This guy's just going to attack me. It's either that or I stay here, but if I stay here, I'm just asking you get murdered. So yeah, I'm just going to move back. Okay. Enemy phase. At the end of my turn, I take a look at the top card of my thing. Gets put in this. And then I have 3 or more set aside hollows, so he attacks me for 1 and 1. One of it's going to get soaked. And I'll take a damage on Claret Knight. Actually, sorry, I'll take it on Mr. Rook. All right. I'm also... Yeah, he just attacks you. He doesn't engage you. All right. Then this guy's going to attack for 3 and 3. One of it's going to get soaked. Yeah. Is this guy a monster, by the way? Not a monster. All right. So I'll soak the horror and then take 2 horror here, take 2 damage here, take a damage here. Look at that. Stuff is happening. Also, he doesn't make a tax opportunity, by the way, if you didn't realize that. Upkeep. I knew you were going to show up eventually. All right, well, here's this. Mythos. Oh, sorry. You know what? Before my turn ends, I'm going to flip this to put a Doom on a card, and then it's just going to get removed when it advances because it's Twilight Hour. Also, this Grim Memoir should go on the bottom of my deck because I'm not going to maintain it. Okay. Oh, also, since I did a damage to this Mimetic Nemesis, I will go ahead, because I used her ability, I get to reveal a concealed mini card. If it is, if it's, otherwise you deal damage normal and then you shuffle everything. So I do a damage. Okay. All right, upkeeps are done. Mythos, we now advance. I have no idea what's going to happen here. Okay, it just says shuffle them again. I'm not going to worry about that. Each investigator takes 2 damage and 2 horror, but may either choose one. Flip any number of stable keys to unstable. Shift an unstable key without flipping it to cancel all effects. So, takes 2 damage and 2 horror. All right, Daisy will soak 1. And then, yeah, she'll soak a damage and then take a damage and 2 horror on Mr. Rook. And then over here, It's going to soak 1. And I'll take 2 damage here, a horror here, and a horror here. So 2 damage here, horror there, horror there. I'm soaking 1. I'll take a damage there. Okay. And then we draw our back. So that was a peal of thunder resounds across dimensions in the deep recesses of your mind. The building pressure of infinite forgotten worlds crushes your every sense. Your keys, surging with paradimensional energy, rattle and hum in your hands. Without them, you could scarcely withstand the strain of this realm. Also, I should have just did the La Chica Rocha. I should have done that. That would have just avoided everything, but I'm not smart. I mean, I still did a damage, so I'm not going to go back. Running red, 7 doomed to advance. It's the last agenda. I don't think there's anything, excuse me, nothing else we need to worry about. 10 cards left in the deck. Aloof. And another memory variant. For that one, I am going to go ahead and just spend 1 to do Ward of Protection to get rid of it. And I'll soak it with Spectral Shield. Okay. Okay, let's start with Daniela. The good news is we don't really need to worry about mob goons. So I'm going to go ahead and do Crowbar. Actually, this is kind of good with the La Chica Rocha ability. Alright, so we'll go 7 to 6, 9 to 6, 10 to 6, 11 to 6 with Crowbar. As a pass, we're reveal a concealed card. Alright, it is a decoy. We'll keep it face up. I'm going to go ahead and attack the... Yeah, I'll go ahead and attack again. I'm going to attack the... Oh, also, I could have done a counterattack, by the way, but I completely forgot to do that, too. Yeah, I'm forgetting all my abilities. I'll attack with Survival Knife. We'll just go 6... Actually, hold on a second. Alright, first things first. We passed by a lot, so we're going to do both Precious Mementos here. Remove a Horror. Remove a damage. Okay. Next, we're just going to attack normally. We'll go 6 to 6. Failed. And we'll do 1 more. Failed. Alright, then I'll do La Chica Rocha and get the hell off of this thing. Go to the shadows. Hey, I'm in the shadows with you. Alright, then I'll go Daisy. I'm going to Pathfind move up to here. Next, I'm going to go ahead and flip one of my keys. I'll flip the Twisted Antiprism and get rid of this decoy. So now there's 3 left. I'm going to go ahead and gain a resource. No, I'm not going to gain a resource. Don't want to discard cards. I think I'm running out of options. I have a Mirroring Blade. If I stay here, I'll get hit for 3 and 3, which I can tank 1 of. You know what? Yeah, let's go ahead and just gain a resource. And then I'm going to play Mr. Rook. And then That'll be it. Yep, that is going to be it. One thing we can do is do this and search top 9, which is probably going to hit my weakness. It does. And I'll use this opportunity to grab a Ward of Protection. Then shuffle this, so I can immediately shift an unstable key I control, which I will. I'll pick Light of Pharos, discard 2 cards. 1, 2. You don't have any cards to discard. And that's it. Okay. Enemy phase. This guy's going to move up. I didn't trigger anything here. Plays, commits, or triggers an ability. I didn't do anything that was that. Okay. This moves up, doesn't do anything. I'm going to get hit for... This guy only targets Daniela. This guy's going to hit for 3 and 3. I will soak a charge there. And then it's going to be 2 and 3. So I'll take 3 physical here and 2 horror here. Go to upkeep. Go to upkeep. Go to Mythos. Go to Doom. Attached to an outsider enemy. I will pick this one. Actually, no, I'll pick this one. He's far more annoying. Well, actually, this one will end up engaging her, won't it? Yeah, I'll just have it engage her. That's fine. And then for you, you must decide. Choose one. Flip each decoy over, shuffle all concealed mini cards in play, then shuffle them, or each investigator takes 1 damage, 1 horror. I'll take the 1 damage, 1 horror. So 1 damage, 1 horror. And 1 charge is going to get... Oh, sorry. Charge was going to eat up that one. So charge there, and then this is going to go away. And then I'll take a... I'll take a horror. Okay. Investigation phase. We'll start with Daniela, who's going to come back into the field, get engaged by you, which gives an offering. And we will continue doing what we do best. All right. We'll do Crowbar. And then Bruiser with Wolf Mask. That brings us to 9. Or sorry, it'll bring us up to 11 to 6. It is a success by a lot. Heal a horror. Heal a damage. Reveal a decoy. Alright, next I will go ahead and take a swing. So what do I need to do? I need to do 5 more damage. There's not really much I can do about it. I can attack with Fire Extinguisher, which would put me... But if I draw a tablet, it's just going to auto-fail. So yeah, let's just go 6 to 6 on the Towering Vertex here. Yeah, we'll just go 6 to 6. That is a pass. Alright, we do 3 damage, and these get flipped over again. Okay. So I just... Oh, sorry, didn't mean to do it that way. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and make another attack. We'll go 6 to 6. At this point, let's just go 8 to 6, 9 to 6. Actually, yeah, we'll go 9 to 6. It's a fail, unfortunately, and I don't have a key to flip. All right, I'll go ahead and exhaust La Chica Rocha and go back into the shadows. Okay. All right. Okay, this is what we'll do. Oops, sorry. Tugged on my cord there. All right, this is what we're going to do here. So if I play anything, it's going to provoke What's-His-Face and murder me, and I don't really have any answers to that. I'll go ahead and use Mr. Rook, search top 9. That works. I'll take the Occult Theory. Actually, I will take the Practice Makes Perfect. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and flip the Mirroring Blade to kill this otherworldly mimic. Then I'm going to flip the Light of Pharos to play Whispers of Doom for free, targeting the Effacer. I will spin one to do Practice Makes Perfect, and use that to get my Occult Theory. This will be 8 to 4. I'm going to go 9 to 4 with a Ward of Protection. I succeed. This guy is dead. This will go in my hand. These will get discarded. Alright, this has all been lightning bolts and shifts so far. Oh, also, after this enemy is successfully... Oh, it's just evaded. Also, I think I messed that up earlier. I think I drew this from killing the enemy when I shouldn't have. I apologize. I'm not going to worry about it at this point. It's been way too long. Oh, how much did I pass by? All right, I passed by 5, so I do get an additional action this turn, which I'll go ahead and take now to draw a card. Okay. And then I'm going to draw another card. Then I'll use Library Pass to get this out, and then Investigate, going 7 to 6. I'll commit a deduction to make it 9 to 6, and then go 12 to 6. That is a pass. So I get to go ahead and that was so I'm -5. So it's 2, 4, 7. So I passed by 7. Or sorry, I passed by 1. Yeah, 7, 9, 12, -5 brings it to the 7. So I passed by 1, so I don't get to draw any cards or do anything extra. But I do get to reveal one of these things as a decoy. I'll go ahead and try Grim Memoir again. We'll go 7 to 6. We'll go 9 to 6. We pass. And I get to draw a card. And that should be game. That is, that's 9 damage. So yeah, I think at one point I did make a mistake with this thing, because I think I killed an enemy that had it. Let me check and see if that's what happened. Okay, so that was when I got the Talisman Protection back, which I didn't even do anything with. So it all worked out. So yeah, this should have stayed as a hollow. So that was the mistake I made. But in any case, we have defeated the mimetic nemesis. We advance. Of goldfish and whales, the entity collapses upon itself, its wordless screech washing over the world and worlds beyond, reverberating through your skull, tearing you apart molecule by molecule. You remain tethered to reality only by the energy of your keys, which endure even as all else implodes around you. There's a sensation of tugging at the back of your skull, a feeling of being yanked by a fishhook out of ravaged waters, then darkness. Resolution 1. All right, outsiders were stopped. We get flown across the world. We get 2 physical and mental trauma. We get 5 bonus experience. We win the campaign. We go to epilogue. We didn't join the red coterie. For each of the following, Foundation Trust, which would have been just 1. So I have more deception. I have more deception than trust, so it's just going to be epilogue 5. We just get dismantled, and that's it. So yeah, apologies for all the rules mistakes. Like I said, this one's a pretty complicated one. It's definitely a rougher start in the beginning because you do start with not only a red glove man, but I had a red glove man that had the a card to shift, which didn't really matter in the most part because I never left any monsters with damage on them in most cases. But starting with what's her face was definitely kind of annoying, leaky. Thankfully, I think we only had to deal with her for 1 round, and then we just forced her to get killed, which is fine. Definitely had a really strong start with Daniela, where we played 11 assets, which is really cool. I think the toughest thing about this campaign is simply you don't have enough time to do everything, and you have to pick and choose. You have to pick and choose your battles. So I'm like, obviously the most efficient thing may be to just let Marrakesh get wrecked. But, that means that What's-Her-Face is now stuck with that flower parasite in her head for the rest of her life. But if you want to find things like the secrets, you kind of have to do it. So for this run, I believe we did 1 less scenario, which we didn't really notice. we kind of had our build by the end. We did Cycling Shadows this time around, which was definitely pretty rough this time around, simply because we had to do a lot of work to actually get it completed. Thankfully, we were able to beat the clock every time. We didn't do Dogs of War this time around. We didn't do On Thin Ice. Shades of Suffering, we went and talked to some people around this area, but we didn't ever unlock it. And then the secret scenario, we have yet to actually make any progress on. We did learn a few things as far as some things about Sydney, Australia, where if you have 20 or more time passed, it's too late. Over in Perth, it's kind of similar. We didn't really need to check the time at all, but you could see it. It's 25 time. So if we want to do anything involving that, it's going to be kind of a thing. I'm pretty sure if you want to do things like the secret ending, you probably have to take advantage of the travel tickets, which are the things that let you spend 1 time to go anywhere on the globe. So one of the things I may consider doing on a future run is not worry about getting the info about Desi and just gamble on that. Even if we fail to gamble, worst case scenario is the person will just abstain, or rather do the weird abstaining, and we could still get the blade afterwards. We didn't really do too much with the keys this time around, mainly because the Red Glove Man usually was in play, and I just didn't have very many. I definitely used the Eye of Ravens a few times. Also, I completely forgot I had these over here. Yeah, we could have done Weeping Lady, but honestly, I didn't really. I could have discard Breath of the Sleeper to flip that over, and that would have made it even easier. Obviously, the more keys you have, the easier this gets, because you can just, get rid of the decoys and then just kind of win. I definitely got really sloppy at the end. Obviously, not just with the rules, but things I could have done. I tanked a hit with Daniela for no reason. I could have just used I could have used Roja here just to go in the shadows and not get hit. Or, when I did get hit, I could have just done Survival Knife on top of doing the damage. And if I had hit with the Survival Knife, that could have flipped a card. And either I would have done 2 damage or I would have revealed the decoy ahead of time, which would have certainly made things a bit easier. As long as you can make this 6 Shroud, if you can beat this 6 Shroud, which the highest you have to worry about is the -5, it definitely does more damage because you can do 3 damage with it. And obviously it doesn't provoke any attacks from any other enemies. Obviously the boss himself doesn't do any attacks opportunities. The boss himself is nothing too special. I do like the fact he doesn't provoke attacks opportunity. Obviously you have to do all the conceal mechanics with him. Him hitting for 3 and 3 is definitely very dangerous, and I definitely got to put my soaking ability to the test. This is the only scenario where we got both precious mementos out, and it definitely makes quite the difference because you can activate both of them based off like tests you make, which is pretty crazy. I didn't really get to take advantage of Desi too much, unfortunately. Obviously, Roja was definitely MVP here. Actually, probably the real MVP was, of course, Spectral Shield. Having 2 Spectral Shields out and is pretty crazy. You do have to have a lot of charges to fuel it, but soaking 19 damage and or horror over the course of a scenario between 2 people is just insane. But with how much damage is just getting thrown your way, like with little bits at a time, this really does help quite a bit, and it definitely gives you kind of tempo in a different way. Like for example, with the Roja scenario, instead of trying to figure out which ones were safe, I just barreled through them and just tanked it, and that definitely saved me a lot of actions. The decks themselves, I do like this Daisy Walker deck. I do like the Library Pass taking advantage of Grim Memoir. Unfortunately, I didn't really get to take advantage of the is it even in here? The Old Book of Lore. I think it's still a good card. It's just in this particular campaign, I never got the opportunity to use it. So I may end up just replacing this with a medical student as just an openings thing and replace it with something else as I level up. Everything else though, I was pretty kind of okay with. Obviously, String of Curses, I didn't really get to play around too much with, but it's an instant kill effect or a way to get a clue, which is always good. You can also just use it as a very desperate evade. Whispers of Doom is really good, though. Obviously I had to have other cards to make this work. Usually things like Occult Theory or that Parlay skill card I had at the start. But being able to just kill something, even if it's aloof, is really, really useful. Just being able to flex at all. Like Daisy now is able to do some Parlay killing and do some support with the special shield. The fact that she can kind of just tank everything now is really, really nice. Obviously, the Breath of the Sleeper, I used the actual fight command twice, and it was in this scenario. Like I said, I think the biggest weakness is I dropped my economy too fast, or I dropped too much of my economy. I thought for whatever I keep thinking Antikythera will be enough, and I didn't. I mean, this time around, I actually got clues more often than I got resources and cards, or at least it was about equal, which was still great tempo-wise, but I definitely wasn't making a lot of money, and Whispers of Doom is actually rather expensive at 3. The only economy card I had left besides Antikythera was one Crack the Case, which, as you see, I didn't really get off the ground there. I think using Mr. Rook was really nice. Obviously, she gets her weaknesses out very quickly, which is not necessarily the worst thing. Obviously, having Necronomicon out at nearly all times definitely makes her a little less reliant on her skill checks. But Mr. Rook just doing his ability and then being a soak is always nice. Obviously, the trade-off for this is I don't actually have a lot of things increasing my income or my book, but there's only one character I'll use Dr. Milan with, and that's Jenny. And that's just a personal restriction I put on myself. But yeah, I think having Mr. Rook was the better call. I tried other characters like I mentioned in the intro. I tried using Winton Green. She's just too expensive and too unreliable. Mr. Rook literally lets me get any card, which is just a lot better. And like I said, once I have Library Pass, this can kind of force a reshuffle, which is the original reason why I got Old Book of Lore, was so not necessarily for the card draw, but for the shuffling. Because obviously every time I use Library Pass, it puts the Grim Memoir on the bottom. But if you're cycling through your deck fast enough, it doesn't really seem to matter that much. So I'm probably just not going to worry about it as much. So yeah, like I said, probably put more economy in this, replace Old Book of Lore with something else. I could try like Astounding Revelation with this deck, technically, with Mr. Rook. It's a bit iffy with Grim Memoir, because obviously I could end up just drawing it, and then I kind of just get stuck. But I did take some resource actions, and I could always just play... Oh, no, you can't play Astounding Revelation. You could do... There's that other resource card, the one that lets you play for free when you draw it, which with Mr. Rook can actually be pretty potent. I don't remember the name of the card, unfortunately. Cryptic Writings, that's what it's called. Cryptic Writings can also be upgraded to provide even more resources. It also can just be used as a commit in a pinch. I definitely felt the higher difficulties for the checks, the higher shroud values. I definitely was relying heavily on Grim Memoir's bonuses to actually carry me through. But honestly, not really. Like I said, the goal of this deck was mostly to use Library Pass as the thing holding my tomes, while I can just hold on to the Necronomicon without issue. I could consider getting something like a magnifying glass in the future to make the investigations a little bit more reliable, and it's also just very cheap and fast to get out, so that might be something to consider as well. But yeah, pretty good stuff. Like I said, I've been taking... obviously, I could just look at the book and just peek, but I've kind of just been making notes as I've been doing these playthroughs to note what has what and what time restrictions there are. And this time around, I definitely made a note of what everyone's votes were. Because now in the future, I'm probably just going to skip Constantinople and just go and do some other things. And I think that'll be a lot better. Because pretty much AJ will always join you. The only difference is whether or not AJ would have the Twisted Answer Prism, which I only used once here. Anything else to point out? Well, let's talk about Daniela, I guess. I think this is the Daniela deck I'll be using in the future. The only things I'll probably replace is I'm going to get rid of the Safeguards. I know Safeguards is very good for action compression, but the way I play these games now, two-handed, is I usually have my Clover able to do things on their own. So I don't really need my Guardian following them. And since I have in the case of Daniela, since I have her using Crowbar to get her own clues, I generally want her to be in other places to get clues. Her being able to get her own clues is always been really useful. That's part of the reason why Runic Axe is so strong, where I can just use Elders to essentially get more clues whenever I need them. Yeah, overall, I think this worked really well. I could probably drop the Talisman of Protection. This was kind of maybe overkill. It's useful in the early game. It could be something I could replace as I'm leveling up, maybe. Bruiser's good. Unfortunately, there's just not... it's the same issue as Safeguard, where I just don't have the time to play it. But in the case of Bruiser, I'm willing to make the time to play it, because this is kind of my raw way to increase my numbers whenever I'm using melee weapons. Obviously, Wolf Mask are really good. I do like the combination of Precious Mementos, and then also having those Cherished Keepsakes just in case. Geared Up, I definitely like a lot, and obviously having it in combination with Backpack 2 just makes it a lot better. Obviously, at a crossroads, going in the thick of it. This is the first time I've gone in the thick of it with Daniela, and I think it was definitely a good play. Banking one experience and then just having two at a crossroads to help with that opener if needed. I believe this is the first time I played with Schaffner's Catalogs, and it definitely goes really well with the Geared Up, because obviously it's an item, and then it could play other items for me, or help pay for other items for me. Didn't really need to worry about Tichophobia for Daniela. Either I got rid of it, or I just never failed a test. And the few times I probably did fail a test, I probably had Spectral Shield at the time, so it didn't really matter. Yeah, honestly, this went pretty well. I went through a lot of iterations with this Daniela deck, and Geared Up was definitely the thing I felt like she needs. Like that opening action compression of just getting out all of her gear and then just focusing on just gradually killing enemies or using Crowbar to gradually get clues, I think works really well. This is also my first time using Bandolier, and it does work out a lot better. That was the struggle I had, because usually, obviously, if I wanted to do any sort of flexing, I would have one hand taken by Crowbar, and then the other hand would either be a survival knife, a fire extinguisher, or a machete, depending on what point of the game I'm in. In my notes, I did say I was going to drop toe-to-toe, like all of them, but keeping one on hand I think was actually a really good call, because this attack that it is not a provoked attack, so I can use it in conjunction with survival knife and do quite a bit with it. Yeah, I think this is probably the deck I'll go with. Obviously, medical student's also just really good for just some support healing stuff, but honestly I just didn't have time to usually do any of that. After I did the initial setup for Geared Up, everything, it was kind of just go mode from there. So it is what it is. Overall, I really like this campaign. Every time I play, it is definitely difficult. The conceal mechanic, I feel like, doesn't scale the best with lower player counts. But there's at least, unlike the explore mechanic or scan or delve or whatever mechanic that involves spending actions to do things, at least in this, you have other tools you can use to mitigate the pain of. You can do other things besides actions to reveal concealed cards. You can use, of course, lightning bolt actions, anything that gets you automatic damage, automatic clues, things like that. I think, it's overall just really, really interesting. Obviously, the variety of scenarios is very wide. Obviously, I noticed that Marrakesh with Dead Heat was not a good matchup for us, purely because I was relying on asset soaking, and Dead Heat Amaranth is just designed to destroy that type of stuff. But depending on what your playstyle is, once you're familiar with all the scenarios, you can just pick a route that fits that particular group, or you can go the opposite and pick one that's challenging for the group. Also, you could also go. I'm definitely curious about like a run where you're more focused on just doing non-combat, non-scenario stuff. Like, go open with Ascetic or something, get your Ascetic within the thick of it, start with 13 experience, then just go and just see what you can explore and find. Yeah, there's a lot of things you can do here. This video is probably going on super long, just like the last one, so I'm going to go ahead and call it here. The one thing I'm happy about was, I think Daisy Walker, I think we only played once in Dunwich, like way back when I started doing these playthroughs. And then Daniela is a character I've been trying over and over again to try to like make her good. And I think at this point I'm satisfied with this deck. It is swingy. You can definitely brick, and if you brick, you'll feel it. But the worst brick I had was I only played 2 assets, and even then I still kind of broke even as far as the amount of actions I gave up for it. So I think this is going to be probably the build I will tweak from now on for Daniela. Until more stuff comes out for her, for Survivor and Level 0 Guardian. And like I said, for the Daisy Walker, I think going without Necronomicon now, I think it's just fine. I think Library Pass definitely still has a niche, especially with Grim Memoir. Technically, you can use it with Old Book of Lore, but like I said, that's kind of maybe not the best thing to do. I mean, I guess it could be okay. It's essentially, you can spend a resource every round to do a Eureka, which is definitely a way to play. Obviously, I'll never use Daisy's Tote Bag. Necronomicon is always annoying when it makes you auto-fail on an Elder Sign, but other than that, yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. Obviously, I think she probably would be a little bit stronger if I was using Pinda the Queen, but it's hard to say. This time around, Antikythera definitely, when I did get it out, it definitely made a difference, either with clue compression or getting that extra draw card and resource. So obviously, I'll probably continue going without Penta the Queen, just simply to give more variety for my seekers. And yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it here. I guess the last thing I'll talk about is I did have the great work, and I definitely got very close to dying a few times. If I had turned into the Homunculus, I don't think I would have been able to make it through this. It would have been the difficulties would just be way too high. I would be, oddly enough, much better at Breath of the Sleeper and Whispers of Doom, though. Anyway, I am the Depressed Dior. This was Arkham Horror the card game, doing our second run of Scarlet Keys. It'll probably be a little while before we do another run of this, but I definitely want to do another one and see if we can try out Shades of Suffering and Without a Trace in the future. But that'll be for another time and for a different duo. So, see you guys next time.